Hi guys, welcome to a new FGMI 21 video, and today I wanted to do a little hour garage video on the Wartburg 353. And today I'm going to be recording like this. You're not going to see me or Georgina. Georgina is in lockdown. Of course, we're all in lockdown, so it's just me and the cat over there in the sunshine today. I'll do a little video. Thought I'd do a little video while we've got the sunshine and while I'm picking up the car. I believe the cat is going to play a very large part of this video because he's very interested in the Wartburg, and who wouldn't be, because this car is very quirky in certain ways. I mean, if you just look at it, it's a very different design, if that's what we want to call it. It's a 1981 East German built saloon. It's come from Hungary. And well, I'll quickly get into the story of how I got it. Basically, I was on Facebook and I was just scrolling through as I normally do. I'm part of all sorts of car groups, including the Wartburg IFA Club and the Cold War Classics group. And this came up for sale. Quite like Trabants, quite like Wartburgs. And this one came up for sale in Hungary. And I messaged the guy. I just thought, oh, I'll make him a very cheeky offer, and he accepted and said he'd deliver it to the UK within the price. So that is how I basically accidentally bought a Wartburg, because at the time I had recently bought the Audi and I told my parents that I would not buy another car, and here we are, I've bought another car. What can I say? I've clearly got some kind of car problem, but you all know that by now, judging by all the videos. So here it is, the 1981 Wartburg 353W. It came end of last year. I say end of last year, a few months before the end of last year, because I spent a few months getting the MOT done, doing a few bits mechanically, getting new tyres on, and then end of December I got my reg plates, stuck those on, and I've driven it for a couple of months now. So I've got, you know, a vague idea of what the car's like, and I just wanted to show you a few things specifically about this model, and obviously this one in particular as well. So this one, as you can see, is a brown, otherwise known as the best colour, for a Wartburg 353. There is another one in the UK in this colour as well, possibly even two, but yeah, there's not many, as you can imagine. This is a left-hand drive, obviously being an import. The right-hand drive night model is very hard to find, particularly this model being different to, say, some of the nights as well, is different because it's got the gear shifter up on the column, as opposed to having a 4 on the floor or anything like that. I say 4 on the floor, I can't remember if they had more or less gears, because I've never seen another one. But anyway, this is a column shifter, so you go towards you and up for first, down for second, away and up for third, away and down for fourth, and then you pull it out and towards you and up for reverse, which I believe is slightly different to the Trabant design. I think it's very much the other way round. So if you go from driving a Trabant to this, it can be a bit confusing. We'll get to the inside in a bit though, because obviously we need to take in more of the outside of the brown Wartburg's beauty. I will also apologise for any ducks quacking in the background, because there is a field nearby, which obviously a field nearby is something that the cat will enjoy as well. So maybe he's not going to play such a big part in this video, because he's going to be enjoying the sunshine instead of the car. But you can enjoy the car with me. Here it is, the rear end of the Wartburg 353W. Here you can see the lovely rust spot on the bumper as well. It's not the most perfect condition car, but considering the money, it was very good. Wartburgs are obviously very strange ones to value. You can seem to pick them up quite cheap in some places, and some places they seem to go for a lot of money. So it's I think the classic car world is changing. I mean, with things going on at the moment, more people are buying classic cars as well, so who knows, we may see classic cars go up in price. Anyway, I like buying crap cars, so there we go. I love the rear mud flaps on the Wartburgs as well. I think almost all of them seem to have them. And another thing that I did do while I was getting this on the road was fit these lovely chrome centre caps, which I was sent by a nice man in Germany, so thanks to him. And you can see here the new Avon ZT5s as well, which are slightly smaller profile than the original wheels. These are Ventire, sorry, these are 165 7013, whereas the original I think was sort of just 16513. There was no profile written on them, so I think they're ever so slightly taller. But these have done the job nicely. They were easy to attain, they were quite cheap, and obviously being Avons, they're slightly better than I don't know, Double Happiness or Linglongs. So I'd like to have at least a brand on there which I can vaguely trust. Panel gaps, should we get into that before everyone starts mentioning it? Yes, I can fit my fingers through almost every panel gap, and yes, this door looks open, but it's not, it's actually closed, and it's actually locked at the moment, so I can't show you anyway. But yes, I can fit basically my whole hand in this one, and How about another one? You know, on the front you've got basically no panel gap in comparison on that side, and this side I can fit my finger in. This is a Wartburg. This is for East German families. You know, they didn't live in the best times. They didn't have the Volkswagens and Audis on like they did in West Germany. East Germany had Wartburgs and Trabants, and they had long waiting lists to get these cars. You know, this is the kind of thing we're dealing with here. But we're also dealing with something which is essentially a practical car, because let's be honest, in this particular car here has loads of room. You've got nice big comfy seats in the front. If you open up the back, you've got one big bench here that you can get your family into. If you want to go on holiday, or I don't know, carry some bodies, you've got a huge boot here. You know, how many of me could you fit in here? I could get in here and sit down in the damp boot because it leaks, and now my bum's very wet, but I could lie down in here and probably with someone else and it would be absolutely fine. And oh yeah, this spare tire as well, made in the German Democratic Republic. That would be the perfect usage for a spare tire. That definitely isn't going to blow out on the motorway at all. And what else have we got in here? We've got the original warning triangle, I believe, a very old Hungarian first aid kit, a bag of old stuff including the old lights, because I replaced them with these lovely shiny ones, which were imported by Joseph, so thanks to him for those, who also got me that badge as well. But yeah, as you can see, it's a bit damp down here, a bit wet there, a bit of mould here. I did clean that out when I first got it, but these seals, you know, this is a 40-year-old car now, 1981, we're now in 2021, so let's just listen to the sound of it shut as well. You know it's shut when it sounds like that. Anyway, as I say, this is the practicality. It's a big saloon, and that, you know, servicing wise, it was meant to be very easy. You know, you've got no engine oil, it's a two-stroke, it's all put in. When you put the petrol in, you just open this up, you put your oil in first, and then or you know, you pre-mix it, and then you off you go. That's all you need. The gearbox oil, you literally just, you have a dipstick for the gearbox oil. It's so easy just to maintain. You know, the spark plugs are just on top. You've got free spark plugs, and they're cheap and readily available, and everything was just, you know, the barcass and everything, the vans, they were all similar designs, so all the parts were cheap and easy to maintain. This is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to stand here and say I know everything about Wartburgs and Trabants, because I'll be honest, I didn't set out to buy this car. I didn't research this car loads. I've done some research since, obviously, because I didn't know a lot about, you know, the two-stroke versus the four-stroke version, you know, having different front and rear ends and all sorts, and obviously the engines and everything else. But, you know, I know a few things about it, so I thought I'd try and share a few things about it. Obviously, if I make any major mistakes, please correct me in the comments, but I'm just doing this as someone just looking at it, you know, from my point of view, not knowing loads and loads. Just, you know, I'm new to the Wartburg world, and I'm just showing you around. And I mean, look at the interior. The original seats are underneath. They don't look too bad, but these covers are just beautiful. I mean, I know they're a bit worn, but they are truly lovely, truly period correct. As is the horn, which I do have to sound now. That's just an incredible horn. I've never heard a horn as amazing and retro as that. All you need up here when you're sat inside is this strange light which goes on with the indicators, and these 6 lights go on with the lights, and then that one tells you that it's not charging enough, and yeah, one tells you that it's indicating, and that's all you need in life. You know, you've got your hazards on. That's, you know, you don't need loads of things. You know, you don't need loads of dials, you don't need loads of switches. All you need is your gear shifter, the horn, which I did accidentally press that time, but it's your indicators as well, of course, and your flash if you do it towards you. There's your lights on the left hand side. There's your wipers on this side, which I'm not going to use, was utterly useless. The wind mirror, rear view mirror, which just, it's very easy to move, which is fine. You've got these, but no mirrors, obviously you don't need those as an East German family. Here's your little light, only on one side. It's got a little, I don't know what that is up there. Anyway, let's continue looking at the dials here. 95,000 kilometers, obviously gauge all in kilometers here, and there's a little trip there, and then you've got your temp gauge and your tank. That's all you need. You know, you don't need anything else here. got a little radio that doesn't work because it only shows KW, MW. There's Tesla Spider Free. See, this car was doing Tesla things before Tesla actually was a thing. So there you go. I've just got to obviously point you to these door cards, which are brown, just like the car. You know, this is the perfect design. This is beautiful. Obviously, I seem to have a different idea of beautiful than a lot of people, but there you go. Look at this as well. Look at this material. I mean, it's just been stuck on there. It's a little vinyl piece of fake wood, but you know, this is cool. These are the original center caps that came off it. They were black, I think, but they were painted very badly in silver. And they're the original IFA ones, but those chrome ones that I've got on there are much nicer. Your heater controls are down here. I still haven't figured out how they work. That turns it on, and then that says it's either one way for heat and one for not. And you know, one for hot, one for cold, and the others I haven't really figured out anything because it just seems to sort of vaguely let air out from there and nowhere else. So you know, that's fine. And it, you know, gives a slight trickle out at the top. I can never feel it, but I know when I drove this in January, it did slowly defrost while I was driving. Obviously, I wiped the screen first, but you can see the it does something. I don't know. I'll say something. It doesn't do a lot, but as I say, this is the car we're dealing with. This isn't my 1988 Audi Coupe GT. This is a 1981 Wartburg 353 saloon, and if I want to carry loads of people with no rear seat belts on holiday, then and a few bodies in the back, obviously, then this is perfect. So I'm sorry, I also don't know what I'm talking about at times. I'm just going with what's here because I didn't come up with any ideas for this video. I just came here while I was picking it up and thought, oh, I'll just talk to you about it. So anyway, that's a rough look around the inside of the car. Obviously, we're going to have to open the bonnet as well. So let's just pull on this cable here. I think this one here is the front slats, which open and close. I'll show you in just a moment. Also, this is I just need to mention this is to turn on and off the freewheel, which is obviously being two-stroke when you're not on the throttle and you're going down a hill. It still needs to return to idle. Essentially, it allows it to return to idle, having the freewheel on, and then it runs at idle instead of at engine speed, so you have to just use the brakes to slow down a hill and stuff. So you know, they're pretty good brakes, so hopefully they don't. But I'm gonna have to stop the video for just a second to open the bonnet, but then we shall restart. And here we go. We're under the big flimsy bonnet of a Wartburg 353 with your you know, your conventional house fuses that are just along the side here, and then what we've got here is a 3-cylinder 2-stroke engine, and as you can see, everything's easy to get to. You've got your alternator down here, the exhaust manifold here, you've got your belt up here, you've got the carb here with your sound deadener, I believe it is, the air filter which comes in through here. The radiator that's strangely placed at the back and has a fan which is just driven off of this alternator belt here, off of the crank down there. Your exhaust silencer comes down from the manifold literally across the front of the engine, then comes out down the back to another silencer and another small one on the rear. You've got individual coil packs, another strange feature of the Wartburg. Not many 3-cylinders you would see 3 coil packs on, but there it is. You've got 3, one for each of those spark plugs. You've got your battery located up there, and your washers and your heater matrix, which again, as I say, it seems to vaguely do something, but not a lot. But as I say, this is what we're dealing with. Got your brakes, brake fluid there. Just to mention that I did do the rear brakes because the cylinders were leaking, so that's all done. Front brakes I've stripped and cleaned as well. They were recently done by the looks of it, but we're just a bit tight in the carriers, so they're all done now. Obviously you've got a coolant there. There's your engine mounts, because the engine is going that way rather than that way. It's not transverse. So you've got your gearbox back here. If I can get a better view of it here for you, it starts here. You've got your drive shafts coming out either side there, and then just down here you've got your gearbox oil check dipstick. So you know, you don't have to check your engine oil because it's 2-stroke, and you put your oil in with the petrol, and then you've got your gearbox oil to check there. So you don't have to worry about taking out any fill plugs from underneath. You can just check it there, and then obviously if you've got none in it, then you cry. But if you do, then happy days. And this one still does at the moment, even though it does look a bit oily in places, so around the drive shaft gaiters, but I think that's standard, that's fine. But yeah, it's not leaking badly, so things are fine at the moment. But obviously I may need to do things on this in the future. In terms of parts availability, things were a bit easier before Brexit, I imagine, because now we're looking at import fees and all sorts of other costs potentially. But there are people that import Wartburg and Japan parts, so happy days. Hopefully we'll be fine there. Obviously you've got your steering up here, which goes across to the that's another thing I'll be replacing soon. I'm getting some tie rod ends, as the dust covers aren't great, and I think there's a slight bit of play that came up in one of them, so I will be doing those soon as well, just for the fun of it. Another thing I did do is paint the wheels. They are dirty now, but you know, I've painted them with some silver hammerite, got these chrome caps on, so they look the part, and they've got the new tyres on, of course, so we're all good and safe there. Condition underneath on this particular model is pretty good. It's had some welding. As I say, the paintwork isn't the best in the world, but you know what, from a distance it looks fine. And if I bought a perfect car, I wouldn't use it, would I? That's the fun thing about this, I can just drive it and use it. So I'm gonna start up now, and you can see it smoke out the entirety of the UK and cause mass extinction. Right, well, it's been a little bit since it started, so let's just put the choke on down here, and then let's give it a go. You're probably not going to hear much I say now, so I won't say much. I'll just show you the smoke. This is what a two-stroke does. And yes, it does look like that when you drive down the road, and there is a big smoke cloud that follows you everywhere. Although when it's warmed up, it does calm down. You'll be able to see it better from this side as I was before. I'll see if I can reach the accelerator pedal with my my hand out here. I could just about reach it. But there you go. That's a 3-cylinder 2-stroke in action. Well, I think I'm going to cut it about there. I want to thank you all for watching this video. Thanks for sticking with me when obviously I've not been very well thought out over this video. I just thought I'd show you a few things on this particular car, and hopefully I've given you a rough insight to what a Wartburg actually is and what it has. Obviously the later ones, I think between 89 and 91, before Wartburg went bust in 91, they had the Volkswagen type 4-cylinder engine, transverse with the gearbox, and they had the different front and rear ends and slightly different wheels, and I think they had a slightly different chassis. They didn't have bolt-on body and stuff like that. You know, that's another thing I did actually forget to mention, so I will just quickly go over that. It's literally the chassis with a body mounted on top of it on this particular model. But yeah, I hope I've given you some sort of insight. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I know a bit more about Wartburgs and I can tell you more about it one day. I'm sure you'll see some more videos on the Wartburg in the future. Obviously we've got a few more cars that we need to record, and I've got a few more projects in the making, so please subscribe, like and comment, and watch out for the future videos. And hopefully this has been enjoyable. So thanks to everyone, and I hope you are enjoying as much as you can your current lockdown. And obviously, before you do go, remember, if you're in the back, you've got your own ashtrays. Okay, that's it now. Goodbye.